Alright guys, today we're here with a video on some basically how to edit with the two main programs that I use. Both of these programs, as you'll be able to tell from the title, would be Audacity and Sony Vegas. However, I don't always use Audacity, but Sony Vegas I do use to edit with everything. So we're just going to start with the most simplest program, Audacity. Everybody's going to use Audacity, or most people do use Audacity, or at some point you will use Audacity because it is the easiest voice recording program. Also, editing is pretty simple with it, and I'm going to show you guys a couple techniques I know with the program. So we're going to get into this. So just for example, I'm just going to sit here and record my voice, and then we'll go ahead and mess around a few things with it. So as you can see, so just for example, I'm just going to sit here and record my voice, and then we'll go ahead and mess around a few things. So that's the playback that I recorded. Really quick, if you do have background sound, you'll be able to see them in these spaces. When you take a breath or when you take a pause in between your sentences, obviously the line is thin because I have no background sound right now. So like I said, if you're having background sound, it'll be a bit thicker. But just to show you an example on how to get rid of background sound if you're having that issue, I mean, even just from this right here, you'll probably be able to notice a slight difference in it. So go ahead and highlight a pause in your sentences where the background sound would be prevalent without you talking. Click Effect, go to Noise Reduction, get Profile Noise, and then after you do that, you highlight it all. Effect, Noise Reduction. And as you can see here, just go ahead and watch that pause in the sentence. It got really skinny. Now let's listen to it. So just for example, I'm just going to sit here and record my voice, and then we'll go ahead and do zero background sound, zero. Now obviously, depending on the background sound, depends on how much is going to be removed. How much of it, I mean, how higher the settings you're going to have to do to remove more. The higher the settings, the more robotic your voice sounds. So I suggest trying to record when there's not going to be background sound because it's just 100% easier that way. But however, if you do have some sort of like air conditioning or something going on in the background, you can't really help that, but this will help. Also, just one other thing I like to do when I use Audacity, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I kind of do like cut comms with my voiceovers. Any video that I don't do live, I always edit the audio. So what I do is I just go through the voice recording, and then this is a process and it takes a lot of time, but it's well worth it and it sounds a lot better. So instead of having this, and then we'll go ahead and mess around a few. I go ahead and delete most of that pause, and then we have this. And then we'll go ahead and mess around a few things, and it gets rid of that pause, because to me, when you have consistent sentences and consistent voice going, I think it sounds a lot better. A lot of people edit that way, and that's just really how it is. I mean, to me, it sounds better. I mean, it's obviously personal preference, but that is how a lot of people edit. So that's really about it for Audacity. That's really all I use, or all I do in Audacity. I mean, there's a billion different things you can do. I don't use them because they're not really necessary. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some clips here to show you guys. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm on my second monitor right here, so just trying to find a video to put on there. So let's say, for example, I'm just gonna throw this in there. Actually, no, before we throw any clip in there, before you do any sort of editing or putting any video in anywhere, File, New, my settings, 1920 by 1080, frames 60, and hit OK. I always put my intro in first, so I'm just going to show you an example. When you put in a clip or any sort of video, I always put it right to the tracks. I don't bother putting it in there, there's no point. Just put it right there, and you're going to get this notification saying, do you want to set your project video settings to match this media? You always want to hit no, because my intro, for example, the resolution is like 3000 by like 2000 something. So if I were to do that, then the rest of the video would look stupid because it would be all zoomed in and stuff. So hit no. The clip gets put in, and you can drag it. It's slower that way. That's a slower way to skim through it, or you can just grab the line right here and just scroll a lot faster. So I'd say the main keys that I'm clicking when I use Sony Vegas is S and U. S is to split. So let's say for example, I wanna, let's say there's just a boring part right here. So I'm gonna hit split, find the place that oh, no, not that. Let's move this over, and then find the place that you want to skip up until. So let's say for example, we skip up until I die, for example. Okay, hold on, let's find it. So let's say right when I die. Okay, you just hit split again, delete, deletes that part, you drag it over, and then that part's edited out. I do use that a lot. I mean, that's just very basic editing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and undo all that, which I already did. And another thing that I use too is because I like to organize my audios and my videos accordingly on how the video is going. So to detach, as you can see, the audio and the video are attached together, you want to hit U, and that it detaches the video from the audio. Now you can put the audio anywhere you want. You can right click, let's say for example here, and you can do insert audio track, right click the video track, insert video track, and you can just sit there and add as many as you want. Or as you drag in more and more clips, you can again just create new ones. Like if I were to drag this below that, I'd create a new audio track, and yeah, and then here's your volume adjusters. So if you want the volume, let's say you're doing a voiceover of CSGO Deathmatch, I just turn it all the way down to inf, which would be infinite, you know, minus infinite, so there'd be no volume at all. Or you can, like I said, just adjust it accordingly. Another fun thing to mess around with Sony Vegas is if you go to video effects, there is tons of effects you can put on here. For example, if you want to make your video look better, you can click color, where is it, color curves, drag the default one onto there, and you can adjust the curves as you want them. So to me, like, that looks pretty good there, for example. And as you can see, it looks a little bit different, and like I said, you can adjust that however you want. But so if I were to click curves, like I said, like you can do like that. You guys see what I'm getting at here, and yeah. So that's really the basic editing tips that I have for you guys. If I helped you guys out, any of you who do use Sony Vegas and or Audacity, go ahead and drop a like. I would greatly appreciate that. If you like my content, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.